Hi, this is Joe,
And Ned.
and we're going to be doing a weekly video on Magic. And I thought we'd take a video and just explain ourselves, our experience, what we like, what we have, etc. What do you think?
We'll be talking specifically about the Commander playstyle of Magic the Gathering and what we've found to be most effective within that particular format.
We probably will hit on specific cards here and there, and maybe we'll hit on just briefly some other formats or sets or something. But mostly, it's going to be Commander. Yes. Um, Ned's a master of Red Burn. Drives you nuts. I absolutely hate that deck.
True. It's true.
And that's in a modern format or something to that degree.
It's modern.
So tell me, Ned, how long have you been doing Magic and stuff like that?
I started playing Magic in the year 1995, back when we were still in high school.
Mm-hmm. And then you dropped out for a bit, and then you came back in. When did you come back in? Obviously guessing.
I'm trying to remember. I believe it was for the release of the Ixalan set. I don't remember the exact year of that now, but I do remember the set because that's when they started printing things like Pirates and the Green Merfolk and the White Vampires.
Well, I started, what would you say? Probably around the same time?
It was a couple sets before that. Aether Revolt, maybe?
Kaladesh, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, when I started getting into it, I started with the Energy, which was around the Kaladesh. And I did some... I got some decks online, and it was right when I started, so I started buying cards to be able to participate in FNMs, local FNMs, and it took me several decks to actually get anything that was worth anything, but I finally got a Energy Electrostatic Pummeler that was really fun. And it wasn't as good as a Energy Control, but it was still a good deck, and I've done several sets, and that was probably about 4 years ago, I think.
Probably.
But yeah, I've fallen in love with it, and I've been going really hard with it, so... Then we got into Commander, and there she wrote.
Right.
So,
what was your first Commander deck? Do you remember?
I believe my first Commander deck was a green creature, a green-blue creature token. It was fun. It was just, I could get it to go off really fast, and I didn't win with it, but it was so much fun because I would just make creature after creature after creature after turn, and I was all about making the board wide and crazy and didn't care if I win and didn't care if you cleared my board because I just built it right back up again. What about you?
My first Commander deck was a Precon with Edgar Markov as the Commander. It's a black, white, and red vampire tribal. Very strong, but Edgar Markov was eventually banned from one-on-one play because it was such a strong deck and a great play style. But I still have a lot of fun with that deck, and it inspired me to do a modern vampire tribal that was just black and white.
That thing
Super fun.
That thing was still a beast.
Very much.
Drains life very well. It was not fun. I do know that Markov, I know me and you both did a Markov deck, and they were built differently, but they were a lot of fun. And I know you've redone your deck several times, and I've stayed with my deck more so and just went cheaper creatures so I can build the board faster. So tell me, Ned, how many decks do you think you currently have right now?
In Commander?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. It's more than a dozen. It's probably close to 15, but I don't know the exact number.
And out of your group, which one's your current favorite?
Of the functional decks, my favorite is I'm gonna have to say my favorite is mono white with Avacyn, Angel of Hope as the commander.
Mm-hmm.
It's tremendous fun. I have a lot of mana acceleration in that, so Avacyn doesn't take a long time to hit the board, and then once she does, I use several different spells with mass destruction, destroy all creatures, destroy all lands, that kind of thing, and it makes a very miserable time for the opponent because I'm not killing any one thing, I'm killing all of it.
And it is now dead. Thanks, Mace.
Yeah.
I now have. Currently, I have 9 decks that I really play. I have 2 more decks that I can pull out if I don't want to play the other ones. But I haven't played with them at all to build them up. I still got to make upgrades on all 3 of the last 3 ones I have. But my favorite would probably be my one permanent. I got that one from Commander's Quarters from a guy named Mitch, and then me and Ned kind of went through it and tore it apart a little bit and put a lot more burn in it. But that thing is just, I have fun with it. It's a little bit slower, but it's totally, I'm going to counter yours. I pretty much put a mana acceleration on it a little bit to be able to play in a couple different creature tokens. And then once I get creature tokens out, if I can get one to stay in for enough, once I get my commander out, it's a mutate a Luna Apex Predator. No, I'm thinking of. Anyway, it's a Luna, and it is a mutate card that when it mutates, it comes into play on top. And then once that does, I search through my deck. The only permanent in the deck is Omniscience, which lets you play anything from my hand, and it has a whole crap load of draw and a burn and counter spells, and I kind of have an answer for quite a few things with it. And yeah, it can be. I know some people has kind of headache with it, and if I can get it to go, like if I can get Omniscience out and get it to go, if I'm careful and protect Omniscience, I can own a board pretty quick with it. So it's, to me, that's fun. But like I said, I have about 11 right now currently, so that's where I'm at.
Okay.
So how many decks have you built any decks other than the ones you currently have that you've torn apart?
I have my pirate deck. It's not completely torn apart, but I've changed the commander, and so there are things I want to add to it, and several things I've had to remove because it's not as many colors as it used to be, but I think it will be better for it because it will be more focused on actually the tribe rather than trying to do a whole bunch of different game mechanics.
Fair enough. You've gone through what, about 4 commanders with that deck now?
I think it's only 3. I had Morofon, then I had the red one, and now I'm back to Admiral Beckett Brass. So yeah, technically 3, but one of them I've used twice.
Yeah, so 4. 3-ish, but with 4, yeah. Yep. I know. It's irritating to have a deck and it just doesn't perform, so you want to redo it, or you get bored with it, so you want to redo it. I know. I don't know if I can even count how many decks I've gone
through. Bunches.
Yeah. Me and Ned's done a couple one-on-one tournaments, and yes, we play Markov with our one-on-one tournaments, even though it's illegal. We don't care. We love Markov. We love our vampires.
It's true.
Thanks, Mace. And but yeah, I mean, I've probably gone through about 60 or 70 of them, and there was some that was horribly bad. My zombies is definitely one of them. My zombie deck was, when I put it together, I kind of put it in from scratch, and it was just, ugh. I, I think I was, the only time I got to actually go off, I think it was against Macy, and that was only because she doesn't like to win. She just likes to set up the board and not care. So, but anyway, I've done a lot. And some of them were bad. So, anyway, so what other questions do you got?
Well, I can't think of a whole lot more to talk about. We came up with the idea for our first episode at talking about lands. You want to get into that?
I would say let's do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. I want to take some time right now to get into our video where we wanted to introduce ourselves and we wanted to let you guys know that we have experience in Magic and that our shows are not going to have this big, long introduction. We're going to get right into it most of the time. Maybe have like a minute or so, but I really wanted you guys to get to know us first. So, because of the way my phone is, I'm probably going to actually make that a second video. This is just the first one, just so you guys get to know us a little bit. We're going to call our channels the Magic Geeks. And if you guys want, thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, give us your thoughts on our topics. And we'll get back into it on the next video.